Whoa. Before the video starts, remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment in the section. Let us know your thoughts of what's going on. Now back to your regular scheduled programming.
Welcome to Straight from the Horse's Mouth, where we cut the BS and give you the truth all about sports. I am Bryce, also known as Little Bryce. I'm here today with Big Bryce as well. How you doing this week?
You know what, man? This has been a weird week. It's been a long week. It's been a long week for the country.
Yeah.
Obviously, with everything that took place with the election on Tuesday. Yep. Woke up, voted.
Yep.
Had no problem voting, right?
Probably the easiest voting week I've had.
Yeah, it was smooth, right? Which I should have let me know something was up. I should have known something was up. It was too easy. And I told myself, you know what? I'm a vote, and then that's it.
Yo, I did the same thing.
I'm not going to look at nothing. I'm going to just wake up, and whoever the president is the president, right? So 7 o'clock rolls around. I said, let me just look. Let me just check in.
Let me peek in.
Let me just peek in and just see. Polls just closed. Let me see what's happening, right? And I looked, and I had the same feeling that I had 8 years ago. I said,
he about to win this bitch. He about to win.
About to? He's blowing her out.
Yeah.
I said, oh, it's a dub. It's a roll. It's a wrap. Game.
Yep.
All right, so Trump president. Done. You know, he was blowing her out. At least Hillary won the popular vote.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I'm
Kamala
saying?
didn't even win
Kamala
that.
just got rocked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, damn, it wasn't even.
Wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. This was for history buffs. That was Reagan versus what was his name? He pretty much won almost every state.
Man, dude, I saw something about Nixon went against this, I forgot the name, McGovern or something like that. And it was like, yeah, Nixon, carried every state except Massachusetts and Washington in Washington D.C. I said, damn.
Yeah, it was a wrap. It was a wrap.
That means nobody wanted you to be president, fam. Like, 40, wait, because
at that time it would have been 40.
49. No, 49 states.
It would have been 40. I don't think Alaska was a state yet.
This is early. This is the 70.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe 40.
Election?
Maybe 48.
Alaska was a state by then.
Was Alaska a state?
Yeah,
by then?
we're smart. I promise you.
I don't remember.
Alaska was a state by then. But I guess he only carried D.C. and he only carried Massachusetts. Yeah. Nixon won everything else. Now Nixon also would be impeached.
A couple months later, had to leave office.
Yeah. A couple. So there's that. But yeah, he mollywopped her. So after that, I was just trying to figure out, reflect on, because people hit you up and you see the discourse online about what's gonna happen and the uncertainty of the future of the country, both domestically and abroad, and all those things. And it's just an interesting week, But life goes on. Yep. You know what I mean? I learned that I think the difference between my reaction to this election as opposed to last election was, first off, not last election, but Trump's first election was, first off, that was my first election voting. Trump versus Clinton was my first one. I think that was I think we were part of that first, because I couldn't vote. Obama and Romney.
Obama Romney. Yeah, so I think that was my first election too. Yeah.
So I was like, damn, 0-for-1. That's not good. It's not a good voting record. You know what I'm saying? And then two, I'm like, because when you young, or at least your first time voting, you take it, you feel it, everything.
Yep.
So all the reactions, you're like, oh, it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you realize that your life.
Yeah, 4 years is a long time.
It's a long time. And I was like, the first time he was president, the only time I thought about, obviously he has the stuff that happens on social media. Yeah. But the actual stuff, the actual presidency stuff, the only time I thought about him was when the vote.
Yeah, and COVID. Yeah.
In between, my life was happening. Yeah. And you have to live in your life. You're at no point, you're not the main, the president isn't the main character in your life.
Exactly. 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You're the main character in your life. So once you realize that, the elections take on a different meaning.
100%. Like, I was kind of the same way. I knew it was going to win, but for me, it was like, well, I kind of know what I'm getting. Yeah. It's going to be kind of clownish, but it is what it is. Right. I still live in Missouri. I got Missouri problems.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I got
St. Louis problems.
St. Louis problems. Like, it's just so.
I got to do what I got to do.
That's it.
Yeah, got to get my bread up here in St. Louis.
That's it.
I can't worry about D.C.
Mm-hmm. So, it was an interesting thing. But at least we know.
Continuing on from that, I think the biggest kind of discourse that happened in the sports space was KD, your guy.
Yeah, my guy.
He's your favorite player, right?
No, it's, Luka. You heard that from him.
But what had happened was on First Take, the discussion was about the Phoenix Suns and where they could go.
Right.
I think currently they're like, what, second or third?
Something like that, yeah.
In the West right now. And the discussion was, you know.
They might be first.
Yeah, they might be first.
I think they may be ahead of your brother's favorite team, the Thunder.
But they're good. They're really good this year.
Yeah, don't low-key trash, but you don't hear that from me.
He's so lucky he doesn't have a mic. If he had a mic, he'd hop on right now. But the discussion was about KD's leadership.
Right.
And can he lead a team to the finals and win it?
Right.
As him being the quote-unquote leader of the team. And he took, I don't know what's the word anymore, but he took offense. He took
umbrage.
He took umbrage.
Yes.
Yeah, some nice college words.
No problem.
He took offense to that, and he responded, I would disagree, Stephen, Durant wrote on X. I would argue passionately that my intangibles have always been on par with my talent. And it went on further than that. He went on to discuss how Stephen A's not been, at interviews, at film sessions, stuff like that. Like, well, one, he's not a beat reporter, so he's not going to be there anymore.
Right.
So he won't be there. But then he kind of took it on to the national conversation about basketball, how he's just not a fan of that. Your thoughts overall on just this, on KD? Because this is a recurring thing with him.
I think at some point, Kevin Durant is going to, first of all, he's entitled to respond to whomever, right? If your name gets thrown out there, you have the right to respond. Simple 100%. As that, right? Comes with the territory. We all have that right to respond. At some point, Kevin Durant's going to have to be comfortable with, and this goes for the rest of his life. He's going to have to be comfortable with his name being attached to things both good and bad. Right? Because it's not just him. We all go through it. It's cool when people are saying great things about you. But sometimes people going to say the opposite too.
And you got to be able to take that.
Right.
That happens on every job.
Yeah. And let's not get it twisted, right? There are some things that I will respond to.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like if there's some stuff out there that I just don't want to permeate, I don't want to run amok, a rumor, or just people's thoughts about me. I don't want that message to get disseminated to the masses. Yeah, I'll respond and nip that in the bud as quickly as I can. Then there's some other things. It's like, all right, whatever. It's sort of like, I'll give you an example. It's sort of like when you were younger, and like maybe when you're a kid or early teen, your mama jokes get to you.
Yeah.
And then you start to realize these people don't know your mom.
Yeah, you don't know my mom.
You know what
Whatever you're saying doesn't matter.
Or it's not true.
Yeah.
So it stops getting to you because you're like, oh, you don't know. You just making up stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like that's not gonna work no more. I think it needs to get to the point where, all right, Kevin Durant, if you know it's not true, and let's just say you know it's not true, but it's also like not harmful, right? Because for example, if someone asks me, do you think Kevin Durant can help lead a team to the finals? That's just generic conversation.
Yeah.
I'm entitled to say yes or no. There's actually no point in you responding to that.
Right.
Because you saying yes you can and me saying no you can't, we won't know until the end of the season. Yep. There's literally, you responding to that does nothing for me or you. It's just my opinion. And I think he has to differentiate between responding to people's target of his character and people just giving their thoughts on his ability on the basketball court.
Right.
Because those are different.
Right.
And I think he keeps trying to, I think he's confusing both of those. People have the right to say, yes, I think Kevin Durant's a top 10 player all the time.
Right.
I think Kevin Durant's one of the best scorers of all time. I think Kevin Durant's not one of the top 10 players. I think he's not. People have the right to say that. When people start saying things about your character, about who you are as a person, then at that point, I think you have the right to go ahead and defend yourself because your character's being attacked.
Oh, 100%. Going on from that, though, you kind of wanted to wrap this back around.
Right.
In the conversation you had last week with your cousin, Junior, and how we had a conversation about how Drake and KD hang out a lot more now.
Yes.
And how that might have influenced the reactions that we've seen from Drake.
Yeah.
Throughout the beef in its entirety. What was your kind of point on that?
So when this whole thing popped off, right?
Yeah.
The whole, Kevin Durant, Stephen Smith thing popped off. And it got me thinking about, because Kevin Durant recently, anytime you interview him, anytime you ask somebody about name your one of your favorite artists, he always throws Drake's name out there. Anytime you ask him about name one of your favorite albums you listen to, he always throws out a Drake album, but not just any Drake album, right? Because anybody, we can throw out Views, Thank Me Later, Take Care, If You Read This Is Too Late, Nothing Was the Same. Albums people throw out overall, but he'll throw out some recent stuff, right? And even this summer, he's one of the people that was hanging out with him. I think he went up there for Canada Day or something like that, hanging out with Drake's spot. And Drake's always been, for whatever word, the word sensitive for some reason has taken on a negative connotation. Right. Ralph Tresvant has a song called Sensitivity. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a good record. Yeah. But he meant that in a good. He said he told the girl you need a man with sensitivity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it meant to be a good thing, but somehow taking on a negative connotation, right? So Drake has been quote unquote one of the more sensitive rappers or whatever. However, he used to not respond to everything.
Yes.
He used to just kind of take it on the chin, and it is what it is, right? He may say something in an interview here and there, but for the most part, it was on to the next, right?
Yeah.
And I think that had more so to do with because he was hanging around LeBron James, right? LeBron James was a guy who took on the brunt of a lot of things, especially late Cavs tenure, entire early Miami tenure, where he becomes the MVP, he becomes the face of the league.
Yep.
So the scrutiny and social media starts to rise at this time.
Yep.
And he goes to Miami, does the not one, the not two, the not three, and then he obviously implodes against my Dallas Mavericks. So then the scrutiny on him just intensifies, right? And he initially but he acts out in LeBron James like character. Yeah. I remember he had the press conference talking about, at the end of the day, you guys still got to live y'all life and all. Remember after that, y'all still got to live y'all life and you still got to go back to your miserable whatever stuff like that after losing to us and all that kind of things. And I think he learned. Maybe he turned into a villain after that. He said he embraced it when he was in Miami. I think dealing with that, LeBron learned kind of how to handle the media, control the narrative, when to respond to stuff, when not. Because LeBron will respond to stuff every now and then.
Every now and then he will respond everything, to something. But for the most part, unless it's really attacking him or his family, he doesn't say anything. When it comes to basketball, he really shuts his mouth. Mm-hmm. He's going to let his play on the court speak.
And so Drake was kind of like that. And remember, we saw it when he was on the Shop, right? Yeah. He talking about the whole Pusha T thing and why he didn't release the record that he had about Pusha T and all that kind of stuff. And he was saying, he spoke to LeBron about it. I remember Drake had a rule. He talked about how he lets things. This is back in the day. Obviously he doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah, where he would sit on stuff.
Yeah, stuff like all right, I forgot the rule. I don't know if it was a 72-hour rule. Yeah. Where if it bothers me now, I'm gonna wait, and if it still bothers me 3 days from now, then I'll do something about it. Yeah. Right. But let time pass and see how it really affects me. And I think that has a lot to do with the influence of LeBron James. I think that played a factor. I don't know what happened to their relationship since him appearing on the Shop and now in 2024 and where we are now. But clearly it appears to be, at least optically, that his relationship with Kevin Durant has increased or broadened or become more greater influence on him than LeBron James. Yeah. And you've seen it, right? He talked about, KD reached out to you, telling him what we going, you know what I mean? In the songs. Yeah. I think Kevin Durant was in the Laugh Now Cry Later video, I believe. Clearly, they're very, very close. And Kevin Durant is another guy who's been described as sensitive. Yeah. And when you're the guy who with the burner accounts and you're the guy who responds to everything, then you're also going to be the instigator guy too. Yeah. So you're also going to be the guy, hey, bro, what we doing? Hey, bro, you going to take that? Word? What's the next move? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's that guy. And I think that has played an influence on Drake.
Rolling that back around, we then had a discussion about his tenure with the Nets. Yeah. And your guy now, Kyrie, we've noticed, we didn't talk about that interview on the show, but I think we both read it. And we noticed a marquee difference in Kyrie in Dallas and his time in Dallas and whatever happened in the Nets. Yeah. We've noticed that there was a maturity there in Kyrie that we haven't seen yet. Mm-hmm. And it seems to be that move away from Brooklyn and potentially Kevin Durant might have inspired that. Right. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not going to talk on KD's character, but it does seem like that sensitivity does rub off on people because KD and Kyrie have said they're friends. Yeah. They are friends, but that time away seems to have mellowed out Kyrie and KD hasn't mellowed out yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just interesting to me that you get called sensitive, right? And no one likes to be called sensitive. But you do need to be sensitive to how people talk about you, how people speak on your name.
You need to be aware.
You need to be aware.
Yeah.
But it does seem like he's too sensitive to what you said, to just everything that people say on the internet does not matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's Twitter. It's just people shouting to the ether.
Right.
You can be like, it's not that important. And now it seems like, okay, like, is this going to be part of his legacy? The guy who was the basketball player who spent too much time on Twitter.
And again, we're all not immune to this, right?
No.
He's human just like us. I'm not saying you don't have the right, not the right. I'm not saying that if someone is talking ill on you, don't say something.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm just saying not everything,
Yeah.
bro. Like, you are above some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, let some of them let them talk, bro.
Yeah.
Let them talk. We know you great.
Yeah.
No one is debating.
Yeah.
We're not debating no more.
Of the 2013s, you are top 3.
Nigga, of basketball.
True.
In the history of the sport. I'll tell you right now, Bryce Oden, I'm not debating nobody if Kevin Durant's one of the greatest 20 players of all time.
Oh, facts.
I'm not debating that.
Yeah.
I'm not. We're not
having
argue
that
with your mama
conversation.
because I'm not. If that's where you want to start, then we don't need to talk basketball because you don't know basketball, right? It's just with the other stuff. It's just like, why?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think that and it does speak to what Stephen A. Smith said about the leadership thing.
Yeah.
Right? Is how you come across to other people.
Yeah.
Not other people, but like how your vibe,
how your makeup bleeds into the rest of the team.
Yeah.
How your mental makeup bleeds in the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be a conversation piece,
right?
Because that's the important part of building a team is everybody's mental makeup.
Especially with the Thunder too.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, at least with the Thunder, at least they had Russell Westbrook to counteract that.
Yeah.
So for every Kevin Durant, plus I think he was still trying to find himself at the time too.
Yeah.
But Russell Westbrook has such a brash personality. That, let's call a spade a spade. Knowing what we know now, he was the leader of the Thunder team.
100%. Russ was, yeah.
But I just think that if you're Kevin Durant, you got to keep the main thing.
100%.
The main thing is leading the Phoenix Suns to a championship.
Yep.
You have a good coach. You have a good co-star in Devin Booker.
Yep.
You finally have a good point guard in my guy Tyus Jones out of Duke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you have Grace now come off the bench. You have Royce O'Neal. You got some guys.
Yeah.
Like
it's a roster. Last year's roster is not as good as this year's roster.
This may be your last legitimate opportunity as you at the peak of your powers. Yep. Maybe next year as well. But we definitely know this year you have a shot to win it all.
Yep.
You coming off a great showing in the Olympics.
Yep.
Continue that on, right? Focus on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Focus on that.
Because it is true that the great NFL players really don't care about the outside noise. Or great athletes in general. They don't really care about that outside noise. I am laser focused on the main thing, the championship. And we can talk afterwards. But for right now, it's just basketball.
Right.
And keep it that.
That's it.
Moving on from that, though, still in basketball, there's been a lot of NBA honors recently. Vince Carter got his jersey put up. D-Rose, not D-Rose. Dwayne Wade got his statue put up.
Like Antoine Walker.
That was an ugly statue.
Yeah.
That was an ugly statue. I don't know.
I
don't know what's worse, was the bust of Cristiano Ronaldo or the D-Wade statue.
The D-Wade statue, like he just conquered like another like
Yes, Thanos. Yeah, it did not. He was too nice for me. I'm not gonna lie. I get that you're in public and stuff, but he made a little joke. Like, who's that guy? I'm like, no, really, who is that?
Yeah,
for real.
I want to know what the picture reference was.
I want to know that too.
I wonder what's he eating when they like drew his face or something.
Eating,
he got like
sneezing.
a wire. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the one.
Bro, he looked like a Power Ranger villain.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like he
came. He looked like Ivan Ooze.
Yeah, like Ivan Ooze. That's like Dwayne Ooze, bro. That's like what he looked like. Like I don't know, man. You know, you got the Greek statues.
It is funny too because people were hounding the Kobe statue when it first came out. I think the Kobe statue looked better than whatever D-Wade got.
Yeah, bro, that D-Wade, like, I feel like D Wade statue is so recognizable. I feel like if Dwayne Wade went back to Miami, he would walk past it and not realize that's him. He would be like,
who is that?
Like,
I don't know playing with this dude.
No. I know my she was around her, so you know what I'm saying?
It's right here.
Yeah, like he probably look at them like, is that Tim Hardaway? You know what I mean?
Like Alonzo Mourning? He wore number 3? I don't remember Alonzo wearing number 3.
Yeah, I thought that was just me. The way, that is me. Like he got like a Forrest Whitaker vibe to it too.
Yeah, it's so many other people besides him.
Lawrence Fishburne, like he said, Matrix. Like any guy with like a wide
a wide face.
Yeah,
like high cheekbones, wide head.
Yeah, like that was they wild for that. Bro.
Yo.
Imagine being like, yo, I'm done. And just showing that, I don't know. Couldn't have been me.
We postponing it.
Iverson's may have been small, even though all of Phillies are small.
Yeah.
But at least it was Iverson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just, strength version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like this shit.
That's their only statue too. Is Shaq up there?
I hope Miami didn't give Shaq a statue. I hope they don't.
I know. I think he got one with Orlando.
Which I don't understand why they gave him one either.
But that's like their only statue. So you gotta come on now.
Yeah, I shout out to Dwayne Wade for his career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But damn, like that's
you could have raised it.
That's how you get immortalized.
Yeah, behind the scenes, I'm raising a stake.
That's how you get immortalized. If I was Dwayne Wade, I would vandalize that statue.
Just cut that off. Make another one.
That's what
down with this man.
Yeah, like I don't know, but it leads to a further conversation because Dwayne Wade got the statue and rightfully so. Vince Carter getting his jersey retired in Toronto, and people talking about should Derrick Rose get his jersey retired, all that kind of stuff. Are we at that point where it's a little bit too much?
I somewhat agree. I'm a Bulls fan. D Rose kind of ushered me into Bulls fandom. But him getting a statue is just like, because the only other statue for NBA players is Jordan, right? Like
he the only one?
He's only. I looked it up this morning just to make sure. The only other NBA player for the Chicago, because it's United Center, so they have hockey up there too.
Right.
But the only basketball player is Michael Jordan.
Oh, but yeah, if Scottie Pippen ain't got one, then Derrick Rose definitely ain't one.
He can't get one. He
can't
have one.
Nah, yeah. Or Artis Gilmore. Yeah, nah.
He can get a jersey retirement, but he can't get.
No! Bro, he drafted in 2008, and he was essentially done, as far as I'm concerned, around 2013?
Yeah, 2013.
So 5 years?
Yeah, that's short.
That's short,
you're
bro.
right. Yeah, no, he can't.
No finals appearance. Nope. No championship. Like, nah, bro. Yeah, like, no.
Chicago's very own?
No, they have the city of Chicago make a statue. Maybe be outside of City Hall or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
It can't be United Center.
Yeah, he can get how Rocky got a statue. Maybe you can get D Rose one or something like that. But no, like,
I get it though.
When you get your jersey retired, it's the same thing with Vince Carter. I understand he was the first, even though technically Damon Stoudemire was the first Mighty Mouse. But to me, when you get any type of honor, you're getting immortalized forever. We're talking about the greats of the greats. Yeah. The minimum should be
finals appearance,
championship.
Let's be honest.
Or
when it comes to statues, the minimum is championship. You have to have won a championship,
or at least get to I don't think you have to get to a championship, but or maybe that wouldn't be bad. Yes, yeah. We honoring you. The least you could do is get us to the finals.
Yeah, if AI made it to the finals with Philly. Yeah, he got his statue.
Yeah.
You have to at least have made it to the championship to get a statue.
That's
minimum.
And I just think they'd be like, well, he was a great player. We had fun when he was here, so here's a statue.
Yeah, I get it because for Bulls history, it's sad. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not that sad for y'all.
No, I'm just talking about.
Y'all got a whole decade blocked off.
We do, but of that decade. Before that and beyond that, it's sad. Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah. So I get it. Like, you want to, we gotta have something. You do have D-Rose.
You have Michael Jordan. What do you mean you need something? Niggas are walking around with this nigga's shoes still. Y'all don't need that. That dude's, y'all got the only player where he's enough for, the
rest of the year.
Yeah. Like his jersey's still ringing off.
True.
Shit still gets sold.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, y'all don't need no more. I just think that, in my opinion, we minimize that honor.
Agreed.
Everyone shouldn't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like imagine if like everybody made. I mean, imagine if the honor roll got lowered to like the people who made like 2.5 too.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
I worked
bro.
too hard for you to have this.
Yeah, but exactly.
Yeah.
I worked too hard for you and me to be in the same breath. Dog, you didn't do what I did.
Yeah.
I don't want my. If your jersey, then mine should be a little bit higher than yours.
Oh, mine should just be bigger in general.
Yeah, like
mine should be like a championship banner size
somewhere.
Jersey.
You know what I'm saying? But maybe you get maybe you're the guy that gets the bobblehead night. You're the bobblehead night guy.
There we go.
We get a bunch of those.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
D-Rose bobblehead night.
Yeah, Vince Carter bobblehead night, something like that. You know, but like retirement, a statue, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's for like. I hate to say it, but it's for the one-of-ones. It's for the one-of-ones. It has to be. Yeah, it's for this dude brought us great success, new horizons. You know what I mean? Like not just he was the first guy, our first superstar. Okay, did he do anything? No. Because the next guy that does something and his jersey actually deserves to be retired, it looks weird.
It does.
Because like I had to win a championship to get my jersey retired. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all was calling for my head. He ain't won it yet. Was taking too long. That's what I went through.
Yep.
Niggas was just you were just out there happy to be there. It's not the same.
It's not.
You know, that's why
it's the biggest problem with the NBA, I think, is that they want to honor everybody. And you can't.
You know, maybe I don't know. Maybe that should be Trump's on his agendas. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe some of these jerseys gotta come down.
Some of these jerseys.
Who's that? We don't know. All right.
I ain't gonna lie. If I was president, that'd be my first day, bro. I'm going through each arena. And we gonna do it.
We doing a stock on jerseys.
Yeah, we pulling some of these damn jerseys down. God damn it! Like what do you do? Nah, bring it down. You know what I'm saying?
So like it's like all right. So is he his top 75? Nah, coming down.
Top 75? Nah, that's too many jerseys in general.
Is he top 20? On the list on the greatest 75 players of all time? On that list? Okay, nah.
That's minimum. Yeah, we start there. So if he ain't on the 75 list, automatically your jersey coming down.
Yeah,
light it on fire. Mail it back.
No, that's good. That's going right back into rotation. Whoever your next player that you draft or bring in, that's what jersey he gets. Just to be making a point. And it's unretired. Here you go.
It's unretired. Damn. I ain't gonna be that mean.
I know. That's how we doing it. We are unretiring it. The next person coming in and getting it.
Not foreign affairs. Not the economy.
We fixing the NBA.
Yeah, we getting shit back in order. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, but continuing on from that, speaking of the current season,
yes.
The team that we wanted to have a discussion about is the Bucks, because it's rough out there.
Yeah,
I think they're like 2-5 or something like that.
Yeah, they're at the bottom.
They're at the bottom. It's bad.
Let me pull up their standings. But yeah, it's not great. Obviously, the Bucks 2021. They won it all.
Won a championship.
They beat the Phoenix Suns. I rooted for them.
Yep.
Right, because I didn't want to see Chris Paul win. Yeah, I'm on there with Chris Paul.
He's on the list.
CP2. You know what I mean?
CP. What you mean?
Yeah, I downgraded him.
He's lost the 2.
Yeah,
he's lost the 3.
He's just Chris Paul. He just Chris Paul out here.
Keep playing like that, he might turn into Cliff.
Yeah. For a fact, he won. So Milwaukee is currently the 14th seed in the Eastern Conference with a record of 2-7. They're below the Wizards. They're below the Raptors, and they're right above the 76ers. That's how. So again, 2021, you win it all.
Yep. Everyone's asking, are you next?
And then the erosion just starts to happen. You lose some to some teams you shouldn't have lost to.
Yep.
Injuries start to pile up, especially to Chris Middleton. And then it culminates in a 2023, you getting knocked out in the first round by the Miami Heat, which pretty much leads to the firing of Mike Budenholzer, leads to them moving off, trading Drew Holiday.
Yep.
All of this happens on Giannis's watch, and he's okay with it.
Yep.
You know, and then remember that offseason, he withholds getting a contract.
Yep.
Then they trade for Dame, and he signs the deal, and now here they are. Right? They hire Adrian Griffin. He gets fired. They hire Glenn Rivers. I'm not calling him Doc. They hire Glenn Rivers.
Yeah.
And now here they are. You reap with yourself.
100%. 100%. There were moves they should have made way earlier to prevent this. I think you and I were in agreement that Chris Middleton could have gone way sooner.
Yeah.
Way sooner than what they kept him for. Should have kept Drew Holiday.
I'm not mad at the Holiday one, but go ahead. I'll tell you why.
So I'm saying should have kept Drew Holiday because what you got for him hasn't amounted to anything. You could have got a better deal.
Right.
If are going to bring,
they got Dame technically,
but Dame hasn't been Dame.
Yeah, but at the time it was Dame. I mean, it was Damian Lillard. You know what I mean?
True. I guess that hindsight being
right.
But at this moment, it's over for them in my opinion. Whatever their championship window was, it's closed to me. And they're probably going to have to eventually. Like I know Bucks fans are going to hate to hear it. Giannis might be gone before this contract is up.
Really, you think so?
I think so. I can't see them reopening this.
You think he'll force his way out, or they'll just trade him?
I think they'll trade him.
Okay.
I think they'll trade him. I don't think he's going to force his way out, unless it gets like awful.
So the thing about the Bucks that people have to remember is Mike Budenholzer was a dead man walking anyway.
Yes. He
would have gotten fired the season won a championship.
Yeah.
If they didn't win a championship,
yep.
like because of his lack of ability to make adjustments.
Yeah.
And also the thing about Mike Budenholzer that people forget is he's always a great regular season coach, but he's always struggles in the playoffs.
Yep.
And I went back and looked at the coaches he beat during that playoff run, right? So you beat Eric Spoelstra, who I believe is a superior coach.
Yeah.
But you beat Eric Spoelstra. But remember, people forget, that was the year that the Heat and the Lakers went to the finals the previous year.
Yep.
Had that short-ass offseason.
Yep.
And they just weren't.
They were spent.
Right. They were spent. So that's who you beat. The next round, you outcoached Steve Nash. Whoop-de-woo.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right. And you would have lost if Kevin Durant had a shorter foot size.
Yeah, had his foot behind that line. Yeah.
Then you outcoached Nate McMillan and the Atlanta Hawks, who shouldn't have been there in the first place. Yep. Ben Simmons. Right.
Yep. And if you didn't, you would have faced Doc Rivers.
And then you beat Monty Williams. Right. And then you beat Monty Williams, who I've never been a fan of, in the finals. So it wasn't like you beat any of the best.
You were the best of the worst.
Yeah.
If we're being honest.
Right. So now I look at it now, right? You look at all the coaches in the Eastern Conference, right? Especially his last year there, right? You think about Tom Thibodeau is in the East,
yep.
right? So that's obviously I'll put Eric Spoelstra
yep.
ahead of him. Put Tom Thibodeau ahead of him. At the time, Ime Udoka I think was still no, actually he may have been gone. He was gone by then. He was gone by then. But Boston had a better rosters, and then what we know now, Joe Mazzulla's ahead of you.
Good coach, yep.
Right? Rick Carlisle's ahead of you. Nick Nurse is ahead of you. So like at best, you would have been like the sixth best coach. Like I don't know what that does. I just don't know what that does. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's
them firing Budenholzer was not a mistake.
No,
it wasn't a mistake
at all.
It's just they didn't get the right coach in.
Mm-hmm.
I still think they should have stuck with Adrian Griffin. Hindsight being 2020.
Yeah, I mean, technically we all have perfect vision in hindsight.
Hindsight being 2020. Maybe they just stick out the year with Adrian Griffin before you fire him. Right. Because Glenn's tenure has not been good at all.
But I don't know what they were expecting. Like like I always say when people try to hate on Drake, I always say, well, the run was the run. You can't take it back. Same with the doc. He has a resume. Yeah. Just look at it.
Yeah.
Don't look at it.
Yeah.
Look what
ignore 2008 and look at the rest.
Yes.
He was on a short leash when he left Orlando.
Yeah, got fired from there.
Yeah, got fired. Yeah. So he was done in Orlando because he just couldn't bring it together. He had the perfect roster in 2000. In 2000, he got there in 2007.
Yeah. He was on thin ice because they were losing in Boston. Yeah.
So he was on thin ice. Then he gets the perfect roster. So he's just Coach Bud. Yeah. If you really think about it, he's Bud. Just worse now.
Yeah. And then he flames out. Obviously, gets traded to the Clippers.
Yeah. Flames out there.
Underachieves there. Underachieves in Philly. And here we are. I'm not sure what I'm not sure what Milwaukee was expecting, right? Yeah. Just because his name is Doc Rivers and he's on television doesn't mean that he's the right coach for this team. Yeah. Like there were other coaches out there that you should have did your due diligence on and see if this guy would have worked and been a better fit for this roster going forward. And they did not do a good job of that. The Drew Holiday trade, I wasn't mad at it because I thought Drew Holiday was miscasted in Milwaukee. He's perfectly suited as a third quasi option in Boston.
Yeah, him and Derek White are like the perfect 3-4 combo.
Yeah, the problem is in Milwaukee he was needed more primarily because of Chris Middleton's injuries. Yeah. And his people forget Drew Holiday last playoff series
it was bad.
It was bad.
It was bad.
First of all, he's always been an inconsistent playoff performer. Yeah. There are some games where it's like, oh, damn, Drew lit. There are some games like you forget he's out there. Yeah. And then when he's not giving you that consistent offensive output, defensively is where he's supposed to hang his hat. And he got absolutely abused by Jimmy Butler in that final. Remember that's when people felt like not the finals in that first round series. People were like Giannis should have guarded Jimmy Butler. Yeah. But it's like, well, Drew Holiday's the defensive dude. Yeah. And he got abused. He got cooked, he got cooked, and it was a couple. That happened a couple of times. Like they were coming. I don't think people remember. They were coming off multiple playoff flameouts. Yeah. And so I didn't mind them Drew getting traded. Now I don't feel bad for Giannis because he signed off on all of this.
You asked for this. You asked for this.
You asked for this.
He asked for it right now. I think the other discussion that we're having currently is a discussion about the NBA and the style of the NBA, what the on-court product.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see the discourse because I get it, but I don't. Right? There's discussion of has the 3-point ruined. That's the words they're using. I think they're being hyperbolic. Has it ruined the NBA? In my opinion, it hasn't. It's just the natural evolution of the game. When you allow more offense, this is what you get. But your thoughts?
What's the boxing analogy? Styles make fights.
Yeah, styles make fights. Yep.
I do wish that teams dictated their style based off their best player, not based off what everybody else is doing or what the analytics say, right? Your best player is a center, then you need to operate accordingly.
Right.
Your best player is a wing, you need to operate accordingly. Your best player is a guard, operate accordingly. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't just be like, well, they say we need to shoot a bunch of threes, so this is what we're going to do. No. You ain't got the personnel for that.
Yeah.
This team can do that because they got the personnel for it. Your ass can't.
Yeah.
So you gonna force a style on your team without having the personnel to incorporate that style. Makes no sense, right?
Right.
It'd be like imagine having a quarterback with a weak arm.
Yeah, that's him to throw the ball a bunch.
And, right, and we gonna air it out.
We going 20 yards deep every play.
Yeah, no, we gonna dink and dunk our way to the end zone.
Yeah.
Flat out. It's just how we gonna do it because this is the best way for us to be successful in this very moment.
Yeah.
In the offseason, we can switch it up and change things. But right now, this is what needs to be done. I think it sucks when you watch a game and you feel like you're watching copy paste of the same teams.
That's true.
Right? Only difference is one team can actually shoot the ball because that's the personnel. Right. Other team can't, but they're both jacking them up anyway.
Right.
It gets monotonous. It gets boring. Now it's not too.
I was about to ask. Does it matter that we think that maybe the skill floor has a bit raised in the NBA, where a lot more guys can do a lot more things? They're not all one dimensional.
Well, that's but actually to that point, that's what makes it worse. See, guys can do more, but because of other outside influences, they're not being asked to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
guys do have deeper bags, but instead we want you to just spot up in the corner. Or we want you to just shoot up, just do that. Like, that's why no disrespect to Joe Mazzulla because I understand what Boston is doing.
Yeah.
But you got Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown and Derek White.
Yeah, get
Let them cook. You know what I'm saying?
Get to the basket.
Let them cook.
Most of those guys can have a bag.
I don't want you to launch up 63. Like,
yeah.
Come on, bro. It's not. And I think what also annoyed me was I hate the fact that people always look back to the Warriors at the start of this is because people missed out on a lot, right?
Yeah.
I always use it. I'll give you a hip hop example. Every time people talk about Tupac, right? They always bring up Brandon's got a baby.
Yeah.
Right? Keep your head up.
Yeah.
They always ignore the other stuff.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The I get arounds. You know what I'm saying? The hit 'em ups.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they ignore those records, right? And it's like, well, there's a reason why he's no longer with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if we don't learn from that and we just gloss over that and just lift this part up, then history's going to repeat itself. And this is why hip hop, we lost a lot of guys along the way. Same thing in basketball. The Warriors were a great defensive team during that run under Steve Kerr when they won those titles. And they had a bunch of guys who lived in the mid-range.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Sean Livingston lived in the mid-range.
Lived in that
KD
mid-range.
is a mid-range sniper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Steph him and Clay constantly cut to the basket.
Oh yeah,
layups and backdoors and all kind of stuff.
Steph is a layup merchant.
You know what I'm saying?
People do not acknowledge how good of a layup.
Like these dudes didn't just sit up there and just like run off curls. And
Steph doesn't shoot like his frequency isn't that high.
Mm-hmm.
Now James Harden was.
Yeah.
But Steph, his frequency is pretty balanced when it comes to threes.
Well, I'm just saying though, like even if it wasn't I feel like people glorified that and didn't look at the totality of the picture. They just saw the threes and be like, oh my God, Clay made how many threes in this game with no dribbles? Steph did what? It's like, bro, what about the other clips?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like look at the total package of Steph as a player.
Yeah,
right?
look at the offense in general.
Yeah. Of the team, like you said, they were and still are live with defense too. Like they don't just ignore that part of the court. Mm-hmm. That's why Draymond Green still is in the NBA.
Yes.
Otherwise he'd be out. And I think you're right. I think at that point we do need to look at, all right, analytics does say yes, 3 is better than 2, but not all 2s are made equal, right? When it's a long 2 and it could have been a 3, take the 3. But all the other 2s are valid.
Right.
Like they are valid.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on from that.
Oh, well, one last thing. What does your best player, what are they good at?
That's true.
That's what you need to do.
That's true.
Simple.
That's true.
Whatever your best player is, that's what your system is. I'll leave it with that.
Fair enough. That's all we have for you today. You can find me on Twitter, Bruce Leroy.
You can follow me at Facebook at Bryce Oden. Follow me on Instagram at Bryce David Oden. And remember, you can hear from the horse's mouth to listen to Ask What Told You. We out. Peace.